Hello everyone. Welcome back to Suda51's world of assassins, of invisible suicide bombers, of child trafficking, and of Power Rangers. As last time we won Alter Ego, we beat Chapter 5 and defeated the Handsome Men, and you saw what happened. You remember. We don't need to go into that because you saw exactly what I did, and you can interpret that however you want. What I can tell you is that we are now entering Chapter 6, Target 5, Smile. 2011, a busy year for the Killer7 because this happens near the end of the year, December 16th, only a couple months after Alter Ego. We are now entering the end of the year with Smile. And speaking of the end, you might notice that Smile fills in the bottom of the chapter select screen. We started at the top with Angel, and now we are at the bottom with Smile. So, let's start this chapter and see what happens.
Please leave your message after the tone.
Hello, Mr. Smith. The election is drawing near. Have you decided on your vote? If you haven't, please let the Republic Party make the most of your precious vote. Thank you and have a nice day.
Once again, Garcian's meal has been interrupted by Mills. This time Garcian having some slices of pizza with his coffee. Not a combination I would usually have, but I guess Garcian likes it. And what we just saw previously with that man falling off the building, that was Kasai, who talked to Garcian earlier in the game talking about the Kaku building. Kasai was an informant for Mills, and by extension, the U.S. government. The other guy on the roof with him was Matsuoka, the de facto leader of Japan, basically. I guess Matsuoka was not pleased with Kasai being an informant and took care of that. So we've gotten a call from Mills. Let's go tell Harmon what we're doing.
Check.
What a coincidence. Check.
This time, the game is mine. Do you want to hear a story, Harmon?
Why not?
There once was a young man who had a promising future. The center-back position was his to keep, and no one could take that away from him. Any play was a fair play. No one blew the whistle on him. Everybody loved him, not to mention his campus sweetheart. Ooh, she was something. They were the perfect couple. He graduated from Columbia with an MBA. His opportunity was infinite. He could do whatever he wanted with his life. But was he satisfied? No. Every night he would cry, begging the Lord. Something deep within needed awakening. Then one day it happened. That moment when the subconscious rises to the surface. Well, the way it triggered was very simple. It happened when his mother came onto him one night. As if the spirit of Jack the Ripper had taken over his body, he stabbed and stabbed until you couldn't tell who she was. You know what I think? An angel whispered into his ear. The angel gave him the extra courage he needed to give her the divine retribution she deserved.
Sure she wasn't the Hell's Angel?
I'm pretty sure she only had good intentions.
You really are a villain.
I had nothing to do with it, but I must admit, my memory has become a bit misty these days.
Well, we can't go back in there. We can't go back in there. Like, we can't go into the room to the right of us. That's still locked off. We also can't go back into Harmon's room, where we saw the body of Samantha, and Harmon was not there. Well, we saw where Harmon was. He was in here with Kunlan. And I don't think that room could be part of a trailer house. That seemed like a rather large room, and there was a window showing off a nice view. So, there's some trailer house is what I'm saying. Is just what I'm trying to get across. Garcian has an amazing trailer house, and we can't get back in there. You'd think that Kunlan being in our trailer house might be kind of a problem, kind of an issue. I guess it's not such a big deal because Garcian certainly doesn't seem to be reacting to it. He doesn't seem to think that anything is wrong at all with anything that's happening right now, I guess. Samantha, not a very sympathetic character. But, I mean, we can only guess at what exactly happened to her. After we might also assume that perhaps Harmon woke up. Well, if we're not actually going to go back into that forbidden room, let's head outside and see what Mills wants to talk with us about.
The remnant parties have started making their move.
I felt a disturbance in the air. What's gonna happen?
Terrorism. Different from the smiling faces. It's hard to predict the kind of terrorism Japan will engineer.
Terrorism using wit, most likely. Think they're capable of damage devastating enough to shake the foundation of the United States?
I need you to fly to Philly, right? A former aide to the leader of the UN party has information. He goes by the name Matsuken. Okay, he's staying at the Union Hotel. Now find him.
Who is he?
Kenjiro Matsuoka. He's the only guy remaining that belonged to the UN party. Now, he's the leader of 10 million secret Japanese members that are scattered around the world. He is a major force.
10 million?
What do you think they're capable of?
If they gathered in one state and organized their votes as one large block vote, then
They could win the seat of a state. It's gonna be a wild game, because everyone's gonna want a piece of Matsuken.
the master has disappeared.
Yeah, Garci. About that. Look, I need to tell you something real important.
Go ahead, lay it on.
Let's see, how should I, Okay, 30 years ago, you and Harmon...
Garcian with some action hero moves, evading the sniper, but unfortunately Mills was not able to avoid the sniper. But before Mills was shot, he gave us one final mission, and even though he's dead, it looks like we are going to accomplish it. We are going to the Union Hotel, where Matsuoka is supposed to be. We've heard the name Union Hotel before.
Welcome to the Union, sir. How many nights will you be staying with us?
Actually, I'm meeting someone.
Oh, Mr. Smith. We've been expecting you. The top floor. Please use the elevator in the back.
How do you know my name?
I remember all the faces of our guests. Even your bag, sir.
Huh?
Well, even if he remembers the faces of all the guests... Hey, there's someone right there. Garcian's never been to the Union Hotel before, has he? Kikazuru's also there, which means there's a soul shell. We also hear laughing, so, I'm just going to walk back this way. Here's Iwazaru. Before we talk to him, though, okay, there's a mother smile over there, rolling some heaven smiles our way. Let's talk to Iwazaru first, though. Wazaru's saying that we need to quit the charade, but what charade is he talking about? He also said that we need Kaede, but of course, to get Kaede out, we need a Harmon's room.
Son of a bitch.
And we do start off with Garcian, so we're gonna have to find a Harmon's room around, especially since Garcian cannot defeat that mother smile over there. We need Dan for that. We only have our vision ring, and we don't have an envelope showing the target. I guess Mills never gave us that, so we don't have a photo of Matsuoka. Alright, so the main priority right now, find Harmon's room, so we can change characters. Uh-oh. Well, I should have saw that coming, because I heard the micro smile. Anyway, there's a Harmon's room right here, so it's really no problem. And there's a butler here who can save the game for us. He's taking Samantha's place, since I don't think she's going to be reporting for work anymore. Just a feeling. Let's see who we have to start with.
Don't make me say it.
Maybe.
We got Dan.
I've changed my makeup. Did you notice? Men. They never notice these kinds of things.
Coyote is awake. So is Kevin. So is Coyote.
Later.
So is Khan.
I'm not a monster, it's only a mask.
So is Mask. So we've got everyone awake from the get-go. I'm going to get Dan out so we can take out that mother smile. So strange things, just to begin with, in this chapter. We can see that things are changing. Samantha's dead. Harmon's gone. Mills is dead. Just right off the bat, all this is happening. Let me kill some smiles so I can build up some blood. Actually, there's a camellia right there. So if I'm able to hit the weak point on that, I mean, I'll just get all the blood I need right away. Weak point is not... Can't get that from here. Gonna have to go around the desk. Let's see if I can do this. Right there. There we go. Oh, it was bending over to vomit up another smile. Let me get its attention. So it starts walking my way. Nope, still just vomiting up smiles. Well, I mean, this is a way to farm blood if you want. But we don't want to spend that much time here. We have things to do. We have to find Matsuoka. We have to figure out what the story's all about. Has Garcian been here before? The man at the desk certainly recognized him. But the man at the desk remembers all of his guests, even if maybe this isn't actually his hotel. We'll take a look at that maybe a little later. Anyway, we heard that sound. There's like a wall right here, and you know who can take care of walls. I don't need to tell you about that by this point.
I'm a ghost.
Alright, soul shell in the lobby. Got one. Since there's a soul shell, it does mean that we will be finding the gatekeeper at some point in this hotel. Now those enemies are out of the way. Let's just head to the elevator. Alright, so a bunch of floors we could go up to. I mean, it's a video game, so let's just go up in order and see what we find. Mills was about to tell Garcian something about Harmon, because Garcian mentioned Harmon. Garcian's never actually mentioned Harmon or the rest of the Killer7. Not really. He was about to say something about the Master disappearing, and Harmon was about to say something about that. No, Mills was about to say something about that.
Hurts, doesn't it?
Something about something Harmon and Garcian did 30 years ago. But how could that be possible? Oh. Saw him too late. Anyone else coming? Oh, well, there's a bunch of stuff there. We're going to need to take care of that. What does Wazuru have to say? I'm way ahead of you, but Wazuru seems really be dreading this hotel. He does not like what we might find here. He has a bad feeling about the whole thing, even a worse feeling than he usually has. And he usually is not thrilled about any of the places we're going. But he really has a dark, depressing feeling about this hotel and what it might portend. There's so many weak points here. Alright, let's get this one.
Collateral shot.
Yeah, so Mills was about to say that Harmon and Garcian did something 30 years ago.
Collateral shot.
Which seems like kind of a strange thing to say, because does Garcian seem that old to you?
Collateral shot.
I'm not sure what I would peg Garcian's age at. Late 30s, maybe? Or maybe even younger than that. Certainly doesn't seem old enough that he would be hanging around with Harmon Smith 30 years ago. But whatever was Mills was about to say, well, we're not going to find out.
Collateral shot.
Dan Smith just finding all of this entirely too easy, and I know it's very easy for Dan.
Collateral shot.
And one question to ask. The sniper who shot Mills, why did a sniper kill Mills? And did it have anything to do with stopping him from talking to Garcian? Well, we don't know what the reason is. Oh, and by the way, let's check out what Dan's sporting in this level. The normal dark blue suit, but he's got a black shirt and a red tie. It's a nice combo. Right, I should have shot him earlier. Doesn't really matter, though, I guess. I've already used all kinds of blood on all of those collateral shots. I believe Kakazuru was just here. If he's here, we should probably go into room 203, because you know what he's looking for. Same thing we're looking for. Soul shell, right on the windowsill. Not even hidden. Most of these usually have a puzzle of some kind. This time, however, nothing like that. The Union Hotel. I believe that we have heard the name before. I think it was mentioned that Yoon Hyun was killed at the Union Hotel, if I'm remembering that correctly. So it is a place that has been mentioned. It's a place that apparently has had murder associated with it in the past. You know who should handle this? There we go. I wanted to use the shine sparking on a bunch of enemies for a while, so that was a good opportunity. Oh, by the way, what's he wearing? Let's see. It's basically the same thing what he's always been wearing, but I think his sunglasses are a little bit different from what we've seen before. A Harmon's room. Might as well drop off some blood, I guess, while we're here. The seat's empty. No one's there. Samantha, not sitting there, taunting us with her refusal to save. And just like her presence reminds us of her death, it also reminds us that the story is advancing, though we don't really know what the story is. It sounded like Mills was about to say something regarding the story, but, well, we didn't actually hear whatever it was he was about to tell us.
Did you notice?
Alright, so Kevin now has all level 4s. But if Mills is dead, then I guess one thing that we have to ask, how's the Killer7 going to get assigned any more missions? He was the only contact. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if... Anyone down here? I'm not sure if Garcian and company are even familiar with anyone else in the government who we're getting these missions from. It seemed like Mills was our only contact. So, what are we going to do now? I don't know. Well, I know what we're going to do right now, which is go up to floor 3. But I mean, you know, after that. What happens after going up to floor 3? Well, as we work our way up the building, up the Union Hotel, I guess we have to focus on what our mission actually is. Which is to say that our mission is to find Matsuoka. Why do we have to find him? Because he is leading... Okay, so, situation is that Japan was basically destroyed as a country when the fireworks hit the 4 major cities of Japan and wiped them out. Matsuoka is the only one left from the UN party, which was the majority party of the nation. He is leading... Oh, someone up there? Yeah. He's leading the remaining people of Japan, I guess. Oops. I missed. How did I miss that? That didn't seem like I should... That didn't seem like I should have missed that. He's leading the remaining peoples of Japan who have scattered out all over the world. I guess like a diaspora happened is kind of what's going on after the missiles hit. And apparently Matsuoka has a lot of influence over these people, around 10 million all over the world. Whoops. Okay, there we go. I didn't scan him before hitting Carmen's room. Let's move on. There's Kikazuru, so let's go into this room. And it appears what the government is afraid of is that since Matsuoka has this influence over these people, what could you do with 10 million people? Apparently what they're afraid of is maybe they all might move into a single state. There's a bullet. But there's a hairdryer in the filled bathtub, and that's no good. Well, one thing we can do here. There we go. It appeared what Mills was afraid of is that those 10 million people might move into a single state in the US and then vote as a bloc. And I guess, win political influence in the US? Is that what they're afraid of? I suppose. Matsuoka does want revenge on the US because they did not launch the fireworks. What does Wazuru think about this? And Wazir really does not like this place, as he is made clear. He feels really dark omens and portents from this hotel. He feels like bad things are about to happen. Mills said that if the 10 million Japanese people moved into a state and voted as a bloc, they could win the seat of a state. I don't know what that is supposed to mean. I did a search for the term. I don't think that term exists. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I mean, Suda's ideas on politics are interesting, let's say, and mostly fictional. But I don't think that is an actual phrase that exists. So is Matsuoka's plan to get 10 million people to move into the US in a single state and become politically influential? Maybe. If we can find him in the hotel, then maybe we'll be able to talk to him and find out exactly what it is he's doing. What does he intend? Does he want revenge on the U.S.? What is his goal? What does he feel his responsibility is as the leader of what used to be Japan? And what does Kunlan want him to do? Remember, Kunlan touched him with his god hand, which now we know can turn people into heaven smiles, but it did something different to Matsuoka. It turned him into the leader of Japan. And we would assume that the reason Kunlan did this was so Matsuoka would fulfill Kunlan's will. So what does Kunlan want Matsuoka to do, is the question. Whoops. Suddenly realized that I walked into a whole bunch of heaven smiles. Oh, broken smile. Fortunately, I have the stamina ring on, so even though I walked into a disaster like that, it was okay. Wazaru, what do you think about this bathroom? Is this bathroom dark? Is this bathroom menacing? Does this bathroom hold portents of death? And Wazaru says that 6 were killed in this hotel. They were shot. Do we remember something about that? Let me just take a look at something. We can take a look at the messages that we've received from the carrier pigeons. We haven't seen one in a while, actually. Let me just see something here. This was the last one that we received, talking about Suzy, talking about Kes, talking about Yoon Hyun. Yoon owned the Union Hotel Group. He met an untimely death at the Union Hotel in Philadelphia. Celebrities were at the reception at the Union Hotel, but there were few witnesses to the murder, and many of the facts don't add up. One thing is for sure, he was involved with the Smith Syndicate. An incident that happened at the hotel was swept conveniently under the rug. The remnant psyche surrounding the Smith Syndicate have come together. So, something was vaguely mentioned here about Yoon Hyun owning the Union Hotel, and there was some sort of murderous incident that happened here. And Wazaru kind of confirming it for us, telling us, hey, I can feel death all around us, Master. Well, I don't know about death, but I do know there's a crack in this thing right here. And you know whose show it is. I don't need to tell you. I'm not really sure what I would call Mask's costume right here. I don't know what I would say he's wearing here. He's taken on the purple colors of the handsome man he was fighting when he transformed, handsome purple, and he has like bumps all over him, and has a very different looking mask than he had before. So I'm not really sure what to call this. But what I can say is that he is more powerful than he was before. And he doesn't actually need to reload. He can just do this. So Mask's biggest weakness, his slow reload speed, is now completely gone, as he has now exceeded the main event. And he has received the soul shell. That gives us 4 soul shells at this point. You like suplexes? Because I think we've got a lot of suplexes in our hands. I think it's time for a suplex palooza. A second room on the 4th floor. And look who it is. The first one of the handsome men that we killed. I mean, I'm not entirely sure if we would consider the other ones to be dead, because we lost some of those duels. So I don't... And then they were all just kind of created by Pink, by love. I don't know. We could see that the remnant psyche of Handsome Black is here to talk with us. What does he have to say? And Handsome Black fades away. So he says that Killer7 committed a crime here. We know that 6 people died. Iwazaru, and now Handsome Black has told us this. 6 people died at the Union Hotel. Handsome Black says that the Killer7 killed 6 people? Well, Garcian or Harmon, none of the Killer7 have actually mentioned the Union Hotel. You know, I do want to get blood. There's still plenty of blood that we can get for this level, so let me get Khan out here. Well, if Killer7 was here, and if Killer7 did kill 6 people in the Union Hotel...
Fuck you! Fuck you!
If Killer7 did kill 6 people in the Union Hotel, it might explain why Iwazaru was feeling... That's a broken smile. Probably just should have gone inside the Harmon's room, but I wanted to try to take it out before it got me. If Killer7 did there's another one coming. If Killer7 did kill 6 people in the hotel, then that might explain why Iwazaru feels such a sense of menace from this place. But as for what actually happened here, perhaps we'll find out another time, because it's time to say goodbye for right now. Time to say goodbye to Killer7, time to say goodbye to the Union Hotel, and time to say goodbye to you. And I'll be seeing you next time as we continue going up through the 7 floors of the Union Hotel.
Okay.
And there's a roof as well. So we'll go to the roof at some point as well, I'm sure. Coyote Smith gains a level. Next time, we'll continue heading up to the roof. Even though Mills is dead, even though Samantha's dead, even though Harmon and Kunlan were playing chess in a room that couldn't possibly exist in Garcian's trailer house, and even though we don't really know what our mission should be at this point, we are trying to find Kenjiro Matsuoka in the Union Hotel. And I guess we'll see what happens when we run into him next time. We'll continue going up the hotel, going up to the top floor. I'll see you then.
What is this? Some kind of sick joke? My intervention. What is that supposed to mean? You have an unpleasant attitude.